This is Part 2, Episode 173. Primal Chaos City, amongst the countless living quarters, on a particular balcony. Luo Feng opened his eyes while sitting crossed-legged, revealing a smile on his face. The reflections have given me good benefits. Barbata. Luo Feng shouted within. Here. Barbata said passionately. As Barbata had only recognized Luo Feng as his true master only after he hit domain lord level, he was now extremely swift and passionate in all his orders now. Open connection to virtual universe network. Luo Feng smiled. There should be mail from quite a number of powerful people. Understood. Barbata was very happy. He immediately opened the network, and a flood of mail entered. A total of 392 mail and 13 call requests. Barbata said. So many. Luo Feng was shocked as he smiled. When he decided to attempt the bridge earlier, he had guessed that passing the 12th and 13th level would create a storm. After all, the strongest of the primal region domain lords that have trained for tens of thousands of years had only reached level 11. He immediately sent a thread of consciousness into the virtual universe. Virtual Universe Yuxiong Mountain Primal Region. Luo Feng sat at his desk and opened the screen. On it were many mails and some call requests. The main bulk of it is from knights, a total of 322 knights. The others are some powerful undyings. Also Wuka and Rong Jun have sent mails. The call requests include those two, and your teacher Tru Yang's call request is here as well. Barbata stood on his shoulder and said. Luo Feng swiftly read through the mails. His viewing speed was shocking as he finished them quickly. The knights don't care about a rare genius of 10,000 eras. As for an absolute monster of 10 million eras, however, this has aroused them. Luo Feng smiled. He could clearly feel their sincerity, as they spoke affectionately to him via the mails, saying how they were willing to accept him as their disciple. Of course, everything was still up to Luo Feng's decision, and these knights didn't bother to force him at all. I'll first pay a visit to my teacher. Luo Feng said. Primal Chaos City. Luo Feng jumped down from his balcony and became a blur, swiftly heading to the not-too-distant Tru Yang Emperor's residence. Teacher. Luo Feng walked into the yard and bowed respectfully. Sit. Tru Yang had some peculiar wine beside him. He poured a glass for Luo Feng. Yes. Luo Feng Saturday. Ha, you really gave me a shock. Tru Yang glanced at him, after which he laughed. I'm sure many knights have sent you mails. Luo Feng nodded. Yes, teacher. Your improvement has been shocking. According to the level and speed, even if you slow down slightly in the future, becoming an Emperor Pinnacle Undying shouldn't be too hard. Tru Yang smiled. After all, a rare genius of 10 million eras, other than falling midway, the weakest still become Emperor Pinnacle, and close to 1/3 of them become knights. After discovering your shocking improvement, they will definitely fight to accept you. After all, the student-teacher relationship is the most sturdy. Luo Feng nodded his head heavily. The strong warriors all had incredibly long lifespans, hence their relatives would all die off. Their next closest person would naturally be their teacher. Respecting their teachers, this was something very important amongst humanity. Even if one of them exceeded his teacher in strength, he still would have to respect him. Because the teacher was the one who guided and sped up your training, and a true teacher would have helped you time and again. This debt was huge. Naturally, respect was a given. Whoever disrespected his teacher would be held with disdain by all the warriors. This was also why the knights all wanted to accept Luo Feng as their disciple. As long as he didn't die halfway, he would at least reach the Emperor level pinnacle, and would become someone who is completely able to become their right or left arms. And the moment he became a knight, with a knight disciple, whether it was the wars or exploring the universe secret regions, outer region battles etc., with the student and teacher working together, there was a higher guarantee of success. Others may backstab or kill others etc., however these sort of things hardly ever happen between student and teacher. Whoever dared to kill their teacher, if it was discovered, they would be made a public enemy. Have you decided? Tru Yang looked at him. Then, who will you choose be your teacher? I. Luo Feng was hesitating. Don't hesitate, which warrior doesn't have a group of teachers? Tru Yang laughed loudly. Back then, I too climbed from a weak warrior to having a group of teachers. A teacher's capability is after all limited. For the sake of humanity's growth, there's naturally no limit to one person having only one teacher. It would only waste your talents. Luo Feng nodded. There are many knights, however I don't know which to choose. Luo Feng said. Within, he was thinking of getting Tian Shi Palace's leader. It couldn't be helped. Tian Shi Palace's leader never sent out any mail. As for the other over 300 knights, Luo Feng mostly didn't even recognize them. He didn't know who was strong or weak. The mail they all sent only briefly explained their abilities. However, Luo Feng naturally understood the theory of overselling oneself, and that not everything they said could be believed. Let me recommend you one. Tru Yang smiled. Luo Feng was stunned. Primal Chaos City Leader. Tru Yang emphasized. Luo Feng was shocked. Primal Chaos City Leader. The super being that guarded the sacred land of humanity itself. With the trillions of other races eyeing this sacred land constantly, the importance of this location could only be imagined. However, after so long, no other race has ever dared come invade this primal chaos city. One could only imagine how powerful this being was. However, teacher, he didn't send me any mail. Luo Feng said. Am I to personally go promote myself? No. Tru Yang shook his head. Even though he hasn't sent a mail, he sent someone to tell me that is willing to take you as a disciple in name. Disciple in name? Luo Feng was stunned. Ha, the city leader's position and status is extremely high up. Even though your performance was not bad, you still haven't earned the right to become his true disciple. Tru Yang laughed loudly. His disciples are all normally made up of knights. Of course, that Kudi was his disciple too. But compared to Kudi, you are still somewhat weaker. Luo Feng nodded his head and accepted it. Kudi had passed the primal region's Sky Mountain at Universe, Domain Lord and Sector Lord level. At Sector Lord he was akin to an Emperor level Undying, who was even able to kill official level Undyings. It was said that his law comprehension at Sector Lord level was capable of passing the 20th level. Otherwise he wouldn't have been able to use his Sector Lord body to kill an official level Undying. Such an absolute genius, only he was accepted as a disciple. The city leader has also left a primal chaos tablet. Do you know which one? Tru Yang smiled at Luo Feng. 52 tablets. Luo Feng was shocked. In his mind the names of each tablet appeared. The Universe tablet. Tru Yang said. The second-ranked tablet. Luo Feng took a deep breath. 52 primal chaos tablets. The huge axe tablet was number 1 and the Universe tablet was number 2. The huge axe tablet was left behind by the creator of the huge axe dojo, and the Universe tablet was left by the primal chaos city leader. From this, it could be seen that this city leader should be among the top 3 pinnacle beings of the entire humanity. He guarded primal chaos city for countless eras, making countless other races not dare to enter. An absolute pinnacle being. Even though the other knights will take you as their disciple and the city leader is only taking you in name, however, even in name, if you perform exceptionally in the future, you will rise to become his disciple. Tru Yang smiled. With him as your teacher, no one in humanity will dare mess with you. Incidents like Yang Zhu Emperor messing with you will never happen again. Of course, the warriors of the other races will not care about him. Luo Feng nodded. The other races. Right? Humanity was but one race, the other races and its warriors, and their great beings akin to the huge axe dojo's founder, they existed. Even the Yang Shan race was left behind by a great being. The Demon Note inheritance, the Ice Mountain inheritance, they were probably left by other races too. The universe was vast with many powerful beings. It was indeed important to always be humble. I've decided, Luo Feng nodded. I will take the Primal Chaos City Leader as my teacher. Ha. Tru Yang nodded satisfied. However, go see Nine Blade Knight first and tell him of your decision. He is after all the knight in charge of you. Once he knows you are taking the Primal Chaos City leader as your teacher, he wouldn't dare say anything either. He is after all one of the top people in the Virtual Universe Company. Top person in the Virtual Universe Company. Luo Feng couldn't take it anymore. He really wanted to see this being personally, who was a true pinnacle being. Compared to the huge Axe Dojo founder, he couldn't be too far off. Otherwise, how could he guard over the sacred land of humanity and stop all other races from invasion? Luo Feng couldn't wait anymore. He quickly first connected to the virtual universe and headed to Nine-Blade Knight's special space, respectfully visiting him. Nine-Blade Knight was a lot more courteous to Luo Feng this time. Of course, once he knew the city leader was taking him as a disciple in name, Nine-Blade Knight was helpless to stop it. He was after all, the Primal Chaos City leader. Even as a disciple in name, Luo Feng's position was still much higher than any other knight's disciples. "Ha ha, you seem impatient," Nine-Blade Knight said in the throne above. He gazed down and smiled. "Since the city leader has given the order, then hurry and head over. Remember, there should never be any disrespect before him. His has been the guardian of humanity's sacred land for countless ages. His contribution to humanity is immeasurable." "Yes, Knight." Luo Feng bowed respectfully. After which he vanished. At the same time, Luo Feng walked out of his teacher Tru Yang's residence and followed the vast walkways to the city leader's residence. From afar, he could already see the majestic palace. "Primal Chaos City leader," Luo Feng muttered to himself softly. The main entrance of the city leader's residence was left open, with people frequently heading in and out. Luo Feng followed his usual path in. In the past, he had always been heading towards the Nine Universe tablet. This time, however, he was heading to visit the city leader. The city leader's inner mansion. Luo Feng took a deep breath and walked towards the highly guarded area. The outer areas were all lax and free. The inner areas, however, had guards all over. With just a glance, one could see that all of them were undyings. Clang! Two guards simultaneously banged their pikes and stopped Luo Feng, looking coldly at him. "I am Luo Feng. I'm here to visit the city leader," Luo Feng said respectfully. "The city leader isn't a person you can visit as you will." One of the guards, engulfed in lightning, looked coldly at him. Without his order, even a knight won't be able to see him. For him to actually become a guard of the Primal Chaos City leader, it was something very honorable. This was the Primal Chaos City leader, the #1 being in the Virtual Universe Company, a true authority. The Undyings would all fight simply to guard the place, even though they were just guards. Their authority allowed them to disregard even knights, as they represented the Primal Chaos City leader. "Please check." Luo Feng smiled. "I did indeed receive his order to come here." The surrounding group of Undyings all looked at Luo Feng. Right? Without the city leader's order, why would this little punk dare come here in the first place? "Please wait, I'll go check." The guard covered in lightning no longer had a cold expression. He smiled passionately. "You are Luo Feng?" After a while, the guard looked shocked at him. Luo Feng nodded and smiled. "Go in, Gui Knight is waiting for you within," the guard said and withdrew his blockade, allowing Luo Feng to enter. Luo Feng smiled and entered the mansion, as the group of undying guards about all began to discuss amongst themselves. It was extremely rare, even within the past 100 million years, for a domain lord or sector lord to be able to enter the city leader's residence. This was his living quarters. Within, he followed the spacious walkways and quickly reached a primal stone plaza. He glanced into the distance, spotting a fiery red-robed bald man. He was smiling indifferently. He seemed calm. Just from looking at this man, Luo Feng couldn't help but calm down, feeling as though he had melded into the spacious and calm space. Everything about him seemed to vanish, leaving only that bald man. Luo Feng was stunned as he awoke. What a terrifying being! Tianxia Palace, Undying Knight, Shihua Knight, Nine-Blade Knight. I feel like these knights are all incredibly powerful. And even though the Emperor-level Undyings are strong, I can still faintly determine their strength. As for this man before me, I cannot tell at all. He should be a knight. Luo Feng instantly confirmed. He should be the Gui Yi knight the knights mentioned. Luo Feng walked towards the red-robed bald man. I am Gui Yi knight. I'm here to receive you on my teacher's orders. He smiled. The energy he emitted had an immediate influence on Luo Feng's soul. Luo Feng greets Gui Yi knight. Luo Feng bowed respectfully. Follow me. Gui Yi knight said. Yes. Luo Feng said respectfully and followed. The knight led Luo Feng through the mansion, smiling as he turned towards him. Teacher is willing to take you as his disciple in name, and from what I see, it seems that you've agreed. Yes. Luo Feng nodded. Since you've become his disciple in name, you don't have to call me Gui Yi knight anymore. Just call me second senior instead. Gui Yi knight smiled. I went under him very early, hence I became the second senior. He has other disciples under him, with many of them stronger than even me. However, he favors me, hence I get to stay close to him. Luo Feng said, greetings second senior. Gui Yi knight smiled and talked as they walked. Teacher has 3 great bodies. The one in Primal Chaos City is here to kill and punish. Hence, you have to be extremely respectful, you cannot offend him. Yes. Luo Feng was shocked as he replied. My God. That Primal Chaos City leader actually has 3 bodies, and the one left in the city was for killing and punishment. Just one body of his was enough to guard the entire Primal Chaos City. If that was so, the strength he had in total was unimaginable. Actually, the city leader having 3 bodies was not a secret at all. The strong were still the strong, hence he was respected. He had massacred and killed countless other warriors from other races. His 3 bodies are well known throughout the trillions of races in the universe, every one of them having unbelievable power. Primal Chaos Ruins. Luo Feng looked into a quiet yard ahead. There was a stone tablet there with 3 words on it. Teacher is within. Gui Yi knight said and brought Luo Feng in. Luo Feng stepped through. Rumble. Time and space warped. Initially, they were in the city leader's residence, however the moment he took a step into the yard, he felt the stars and everything warp. He had entered into a boundless world. Endless ground before them, with bodies all about. Some were as big as planets, some smaller than humans, however they all emanated terrifying energies. This was probably the ruins of a terrifying pinnacle battle. Luo Feng and Gui Yi knight walked through the endless ruins. Teacher. Gui Yi knight suddenly shouted. Luo Feng was shocked to discover a 3-meter-tall and sturdy man in the distance. He wore an incredibly complex ancient dark red armor with boots on, and a snake tail extending out of his armor behind. As Luo Feng's gaze landed on him, he felt his soul shudder within. He had only spotted a silhouette initially, yet now he was looking at endless universe laws, the vast universe laws, and the killing intent emanating from him. It made Luo Feng's soul completely submit. No sense of resistance. Luo Feng. A very normal voice resounded. The illusion before was completely shattered as Luo Feng once again saw the man standing before them. This red-armored man with a snake tail turned to look at him. There were 2 red horns on his forehead with peculiar engravings on them. It seemed evil and terrifying, however his eyes were calm like the vast ocean, like the endless space. It made one calm down from within. Luo Feng greets Lord City Leader. Luo Feng knelt down. Terrifying, too terrifying. Luo Feng shuddered within. That first glance, I thought I was staring at the universe laws themselves. Right. This is the level of which one becomes the laws. Shiluo Duo had said so too. The beast god is fused with the laws, every action triggers them. Even the statue of it has the laws within. And the Primal Chaos City leader, since he's reached this level, naturally he carries the laws within. Just looking at him, it was like looking at the powerful amount of law energies he has. This was an extreme realm. One that definitely exceeded the knights. A true pinnacle being of the vast universe. Your performance was not bad, your encounters are quite plenty too. He looked at Luo Feng and smiled. Luo Feng listened respectfully. Within, however, he was panicking, because he felt like the gaze of the city leader could see through him completely. It was almost like there was no secret he could keep from him. My Mosha body is keeping the core with him and his hiding in the world ring. I've already refined that ring. I'll know if anybody scans it. And if anybody scans my core, I should know that too. However, this city leader's power is unbelievable, it's hard to say. He is after all the city leader, he wouldn't bother to scan my world ring. I've seen the footage of your heavenly bridge attempt, you are almost done with the 108 wonders of the space. The city leader smiled. And it's been less than 90 years this time in Primal Chaos City. To almost finish the 108 wonders within this time frame is not bad. Luo Feng listened obediently. You passing the 13th level. It should be from the Beast God presence you got from the Goldhorn Race's Beast God Canyon, right? The city leader said. Yes. Luo Feng said. Within, however, he shuddered. Terrifying, even though the city leader's guess was somewhat off, it wasn't completely wrong. As Luo Feng had copied the huge sleeping Beast God statue trillions of times in the Beast God Canyon, that was how he got some bit of the presence. The little Beast God statue he got couldn't be copied at all. The moment he copied a little too much of it, the universe would punish him. Only the statue Shiluo Duo left behind was possible. To be able to comprehend a bit of the presence is not bad already. The city leader said, Are you willing to be my disciple in name? I'm willing. Luo Feng said respectfully. The city leader nodded his head. He, one that stood at the pinnacle of humanity, even though a genius was important, he was very clear that some people may have slow comprehension speeds. Regardless, after constantly break through their boundaries, they too could become knights. Hence, unless it was an absolute genius of 10 million eras, he wouldn't care. Even such a genius, he would still observe for a while before actually accepting him as a true disciple. I know Tru Yang exchanged the top half of the Nan Shan 7 forms for you. The city leader said. And since you can actually comprehend a little of the Beast God presence, it shows that you have a talent in the fusion of the laws. However, fusion of the laws is tens of thousands of times harder than simply comprehending one law. I'll give you time, 3,000 years. The city leader said. If you can finish the first form of the Nan Shan 7 forms in 3,000 years here in Primal Chaos City, I will accept you as my disciple. The city leader said to Luo Feng. Finish the first form of the Nan Shan 7 forms within 3,000 years. Gui Yi Knight, who stood beside, was shocked within. The Nan Shan 7 forms, or Beast God 7 techniques, were well known as an extremely valuable manual amongst the pinnacle race humanity's upper echelon. There were 2 reasons for its reputation. One of them was because the Goldhorn races, Shiluo Duo, was well known amongst the trillions of races in the universe back then. The second reason was also because of the universe producing such a powerful creature, the Beast God. And because of it, humans back then had sacrificed quite a lot. The strong were forged. Shiluo Duo and the Beast God were like that. And the Nan Shan 7 forms that Shiluo Duo created was created with the Beast God in mind. Naturally, this was respected by humanity itself. When the Goldhorn race became subservient to humanity, the strongest manual they had was this Nan Shan 7 forms. Naturally, it became humanity's, and since then, as they respected Shiluo Duo and the Beast God, there were many that exchanged for this manual and trained in it. This training made them discover that the Nan Shan 7 forms were incredibly difficult. It was tens of thousands of times harder than simply training in the space law alone. Especially the first level, even some knights have yet to pass this first level. Completing this first level proved that one had talent in the fusion of the gold and space laws. I remember back then, Lian Luo took 3,000 years to completely comprehend the 108 wonders of space laws. Gui Yi Knight was shocked within. And teacher is only giving Luo Feng 3,000 years to comprehend the Nan Shan 7 forms first form, that's tough. 3,000 years. Luo Feng was nervous within. Shiluo Duo had mentioned in the first volume that this was just the beginning. It was best to completely comprehend the 108 wonders first before trying this out. and the time spent on this would be hundreds to thousands of times longer than the time spent on the 108 wonders. These were some words left behind by Shiluo Duo in the manual, casual hundreds to thousands of times. I spent over 100 years comprehending the 108 wonders, then wouldn't the time I need be 10,000 to 100,000 years? Luo Feng thought. However, I have the little beast god statue. Since I'm able to study it and imitate the way it fuses the laws, my efficiency will be much higher. If I work hard, I'll definitely be able to finish the scale section within 3,000 years. I will definitely do my best. Luo Feng stood before this body of the city leader, not daring to show any disrespect. He nodded. After which walked into the distance, Gui Yi Knight and Luo Feng followed. Your 9th senior is here, he said. Luo Feng turned around and suddenly amidst a tornado, a 9m tall huge man, with 6 arms and 6 eyes walked over. Behind him was a huge gold axe almost as tall as him. It had incomparably complex engravings on it, and powerful energy emanated from it, causing the space around it to tear apart. He took huge strides over, stepping through some bodies, the space about shook. Teacher, the huge man said respectfully as he got closer. This is your 9th senior huge axe knight. The city leader explained behind Luo Feng. 9th senior. Luo Feng bowed. Your 9th senior huge axe knight has trained in the Nanshan 7 forms before. The city leader revealed a smile. From today on, within these 3,000 years, I allow you to go visit him for guidance once every decade. Whatever questions you have, you can ask him. Luo Feng was happy. Even though it was said that no one had comprehended the secret of the sleeping beast god statue in the Gold Horn Race's Beast God Canyon, Luo Feng had long guessed that there would be some warriors that had seen through it, but had not publicly announced anything. The strong were numerous as the clouds, they even had this manual, there would definitely be many that have tried it. Yes, Luo Feng said respectfully, after which he turned to the huge axe knight, and said respectfully, I'll be troubling you for the next 3,000 years 9th senior. No trouble at all. He laughed and said. What a joke, the city leader ordered it, would he dare go against it? This Nanshan 7 forms is too hard. Even though I've trained in it before, I can only roughly guide you. Huge axe knight explained. Even though he had tried training it before, he had only reached the 4th level. His body itself however was very strong. After a trillion years of practicing, he realized the gains didn't make up for the losses. Right now he had completely given up on it, and was focusing on studying time itself. He was already accomplished in space. Hence, he was waiting for the moment he reached the same level in time as well. Time and space as one, he would naturally become a universe master. Training time and space, this was the great path common amongst the universe's trillion races. 99.9% of knights all walked this path. After the city leader ordered huge axe knight, he turned to Luo Feng. The way our virtual universe company nurtures its geniuses is that the higher the talent, the more resources he would receive. Of course, you'll only get these when you reach sector lord level. Since you are under me now, I will naturally give you some resources too. Thank you, teacher. Luo Feng was glad within. I'll give you an extra 20 times to study the 9 universe tablet. The city leader said. I believe it's what you need the most now. Go on, let's hope you'll finish the 1st form within 3,000 years. Yes. Luo Feng could barely suppress his joy, bowing respectfully. Gui Yi Knight and Huge Axe Knight bowed too. The 3 of them simultaneously vanished and appeared within the Primal Chaos Ruins yard. Space warp. Luo Feng realized as he stood in the yard, shocked. Luo Feng Jr., work hard. Gui Yi Knight said as he smiled, after which he vanished too. I'll visit you in the virtual universe Yuseong Mountain in 10 years. Huge Axe Knight's voice rumbled, after which he vanished too. 3,000 years. Luo Feng thought, his eyes gleaming with joy, and another 20 times to study the tablet, it's wonderful. 20 chances to study the 9 universe tablet. Although it seemed normal, in truth, its worth was priceless. That was because even with points, it was impossible to exchange for these chances. Every time one passed a level in the heavenly bridge, he would get one chance. After passing the 21st level, one would already be a knight. One would only get about 21 times. Every chance itself was extremely valuable. The main reason Luo Feng came to Primal Chaos City was mostly also to study this 9-universe tablet. Out of nowhere, he suddenly got 20 more chances. It was even better than the many manuals he had, surprising him more than acquiring any treasure. After exiting the residence, he headed straight to study the tablet. He currently had a total of 26 times, he had 6 times left from the heavenly bridge, and the city leader gave him another 20, using each time wisely would allow his improvement speed to grow extremely fast. Time passed. The news of Luo Feng becoming a disciple in name to the city leader was well known amongst the knights. And the Ganwu Universe country leader too made a rare order to look after his family well. With that, the many undying families naturally were incredibly passionate to his family. The Luo family power immediately soared even more, akin to a powerful undying family within the Ganwu Universe country. Luo Feng didn't care much about this, he was clear this was the most important period of rising for him. The stronger he got and the higher he climbed, then his family would get even stronger. The moment he fell, however, his family too would fall rapidly. 10 years later. Yes, 9th Senior. Understood. Within his training grounds in the virtual universe Yuseong Mountain Primal region, Huge Axe Knight was guiding him, answering the questions he had bottled up for 10 years. And as one of the early disciples of the city leader, with countless years of guidance from the city leader himself, his strength was no weaker than Shahua Knight. He was maybe even stronger. His guidance was naturally solid, easily explaining and making Luo Feng smile with delight. After 3 whole days of guidance, Huge Axe Knight left. Luo Feng continued to sit cross-legged on the balcony, occasionally looking up to the skies, and other times immersed in his thoughts. The Golden Horned Beast and the Mosha clan too were training hard. In a flash, it had been 12 years since he left the city leader's residence, after becoming a disciple in name. Ha ha! Luo Feng, who sat cross-legged on his balcony, suddenly opened his eyes and stood up. He couldn't help but smile excitedly. I've finally done it. I've completely comprehended the 108 wonders of space. Lian Luo took 3,000 years. I did it in a little over 100 years. Luo Feng laughed loudly, filled with glee. I trained with a sector lord body, he did the same. Yet I'm close to 30 times faster than he was. Looks like my speed has exceeded his. With the separate bodies, Luo Feng's speed and talent did exceed Lian Luo's. However, it wasn't as absurd as 30 times more. The main thing was he had the little beast god statue. To be able to study and feel its presence, it naturally was a huge benefit to his training in the space laws. No wonder Lian Luo had said that with the comprehension of these 108 wonders, the 4th and 5th and even the 6th picture would be easier. Luo Feng smiled. Ha ha, even though the 4th to the 6th are incredibly complex, in truth, they are a formation of these 108 wonders. The 108 wonders were like the ingredients. And all delicacies relied on the most basic ingredients, comprehending the foundation, before training the 4th to 6th pictures. It was completely unlike the normal warriors with their basic level comprehension. The 4th to 6th pictures, I'll at most take a little time with them, they won't be a barrier at all. Luo Feng said confidently. However, I'm in no rush to study the 4th picture now. I have to first study the Nanshan 7 forms. I have to grasp the time. Luo Feng couldn't care less about anything else. He closed his eyes, and in his mind, countless words and training methods etc. floated within. This was the Nanshan 36 forms he had acquired back in the Goldhorn Race Sacred Lands Manual Tower. As he read through the Nanshan 7 forms, he discovered the Nanshan 36 forms was the basic beginner's manual to the Nanshan 7 forms. This was actually said in its detailed introduction back in the Manual Tower, that this was Shiluo Juo's basic manual. This video will end here.